My name is Nassim Saabs.
Let me ask you a question. Has anything ever happened to you that you couldn't explain? That made you feel sort of foolish when you tried to tell somebody about it? Well, if it has, you have plenty of company, as you'll soon see.
Anyone watching the Calgary skies is going to see more of this over the weekend. Wings over Springbank is returning to the Springbank Airport for Saturday and Sunday, promising acrobatic feats, stunts, and something for the whole family. Canada's snowbirds have arrived and will be performing after landing in Calgary Thursday. They stopped to meet a group of young cadets. There's also a CF-18 that's traveling the country decked out in honor of Canada's 150th birthday. It'll roar over the waiting fans, climb and turn at high rates of speed, putting 7 to 8 times the G-force on the pilot inside. The man at the helm, Captain Matthew Kutrick, says it's a real honor to be flying the jet this summer.
Many millions of people are going to die in the United States, in the country that I live. When I know for a fact that that's going to happen, the fake, garbage, lying news, mainstream news, the petty, garbage, idiotic, stupid drama of current events just bores me. You know, it's like, I've heard it described as different levels of being awake or different levels of waking up and going down the rabbit hole, etc., etc., etc. And it's like, I've already reached the conclusion already. I've already reached the conclusion already that this is demonic, that all the governments of the entire earth are being controlled by fallen angels and hybrids, non-human, evil, anti-God, anti-Christ, anti-Jesus, demonic, satanic, wicked creatures that want to murder everyone. And it's like, okay, so governments are being controlled by things like that. Okay. So what is the ultimate conclusion already? What is the obvious logical conclusion of that is there's going to be wars between countries, and the idiotic little soldiers that sign up for their paycheck, for patriotism, or for any other reason, they're going to go and they're going to kill each other. So these government workers called soldiers are going to be responsible directly for killing lots of people. And they're going to justify it in their little minds, in their little dummy little heads, why murdering people for their country is good. Why killing people because another person told them to do it, and they're getting paid cash money, they're getting their paycheck, the government issued paycheck, their tax funded dollars to do it. And so I already understand this. I already know this. So the things that are going on now in the news don't matter at all to me personally. I already know, because you already know what's going to happen. So it's like when I listen to other people talk, and I'll listen here and there on YouTube, on other places, and it's like everything that they say, I already know about it. So it's kind of, what's the point of listening to something that I've already known? I don't need another person to reinforce what I already know. I already know it. I don't need reinforcement. Okay. That's something, if you were going to try to learn something because you didn't know about it before and you really want to know it, then you listen and you get that reinforcement in your mind to learn. But when you already know that war is coming, death is coming, and it's going to be at the hands of government workers, and they're going to believe that they're justified in it, and they're going to tell themselves whatever lie that they can tell themselves to justify it. I'll ask you a question. Why do you think the suicide rate of returning soldiers, United States military soldiers, is so high and it's increasing and it's going up. Why do you think that is the case? Okay, here's the answer. Because you join the military, there is a percentage chance that you will become cursed. And an evil spirit that is invisible, that you cannot see, has a chance of entering into your body and making you feel suicidal, making you sick, making you want to kill yourself, making you want to be self-destructive, making you want to drink yourself to death, making you want to smoke yourself to death, making you want to do all these bad things, because the evil spirit has a chance of getting into your body from doing certain things in life. One of those things includes becoming the little tin soldier, the little tin soldier boy, the little tin soldier girl, signing up for that, going through your training, going through basic, graduating from that. Okay. Then serving under Freemasons, other secret society members. How do you think the people at the highest levels of the military got there? You think that they got there because they worked really hard? They worked really hard. No. Okay. They didn't get there because they worked really hard. They got there because they're part of the right satanic Luciferian secret society. That's why. And so that's the way it is across all that's the way it is across all of the militaries of all of the governments. You have to be part of the secret society first, but you can't just be in it because you just joined it one day. You have to be in it because you were born into it, because your family was already high up in the secret society. Okay? And then once your family's high up in the secret society, then you come along and you're born, and then you go in it and you follow along the family tradition, and then you get to be at the high levels. And so every once in a while they'll announce how this person that didn't have anything, they managed to go into West Point or whatever, to give you a little sob story to make it feel like it's all legit. It's fake garbage. It's fake. And so I know this already. I know that it is going to happen. And I know why it's going to happen. And I know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. Supposedly, according to certain documentation that I found, I don't know the veracity of this documentation, but it looks somewhat legit because of the source that I found. In the 2020s, supposedly, some big things, meaning mass murders, are going to happen at the hands of government workers called soldiers across the world, including the United States. Is it true? I hope to God it's not. However, it wouldn't surprise me if it did. You see, it's almost like for the people that are completely asleep, their life gets turned upside down all around because they didn't see it coming. Their eyes were closed. They were sleeping unconscious, sleeping throughout their whole life, not aware of anything about the devil, of anything about the spiritual world, of anything about Jesus, of anything about God, of anything about how the spiritual world works. And then when something big happens and their life is thrown in a turmoil, then what are you gonna do? See, I'm not gonna be caught like that. I'm not gonna be caught out like that. I'm fully prepared, 100% prepared for whatever is gonna happen already. One of the reasons being my background. Okay, so don't think I'm just, I'm putting down soldiers or whatever. I was one. Okay, I was one. I was a soldier. That used to be my job. Okay? So don't think that I'm just from the outside looking in. No, I'm just from the inside, deep inside. Okay? I know exactly what it's like. I know about all the BS in it. And I understand it 100%. It is understandable to me because I lived it. So, unfortunately, I have the firsthand experience. That's why I can talk about it. See, when I talk about things, I only like to talk about things that I have direct experience about. So, for example, my last video, the Burning Man video, I have direct experience regarding the rituals aspect of it and the military aspect of it. So I talk about it. Those are the only things I talk about. I only talk about things that I have experience in, that I know about. I don't talk about things that I don't have experience in. I don't talk about things that I don't know about. And if I don't know about something, then I'll say, I don't know about that. And if I know about something, I'll say, I know about that. So let's get back to the so-called WW3. Okay, no, it's not wrestling. The other WW3. Where a lot of people are going to die terrible deaths at the hands of people who believe fully that they are justified in what they're doing as correct, and who have been trained to take away the lives of other people on the command of another person. Do you think God likes it? Do you think God likes it? What do you think God thinks about that? You think God likes that? Do you think that's why God made that person? So that they can become a government worker, soldier, killer, taking orders. And that's why God made them in the world? So they can run around taking orders, killing people? Well, I have my own opinions on that. You can draw your own conclusions as well. So when WW3 is going to happen, the ones that are going to make it and the ones that are not going to make it is already 100% predetermined by God who is going to live through WW3 and who isn't going to live through WW3. That's another hard thing. See, you won't hear like a pastor or a preacher or whoever say that. Why? Because they think that their congregation is not strong enough. They don't have the intestinal fortitude, the guts to listen to that and hear it. But it's true. It's already predetermined who's going to survive it and who's not. And God has already predetermined it. And so if a person dies during World War III, that's God allowing them to die. And if a person survives World War III, then that's God saving them through it. That's it. So how do you make sure you can survive? Obviously, you don't have a death wish. How do you make sure you're going to survive World War III whenever it does kick off? Well, having that prayer life with God would be pretty high on the priority. And being in communion with God through dialogue with him on a daily basis would also be a pretty high priority, I would say. Because if God is the one responsible for you and for you living every single day, then what's the logical conclusion of that? Well, the only logical conclusion of that, if it's true, which it is to literally make sure that you're communicating with God to see that you're going to be able to live through it.